Welcome back to another episode of Raul's World of Synths. I am Raul. Today we're going to be going a little bit further with the A106-5. If you were with us in the last video segment, we were kind of going through some of the basics of this module right here, talking about what the front panel does, a little bit on the background of this filter, and some of the little differences that it has, such as the CV input, resonance, etc. But this time we're going to be doing a full-fledged demo, and we're going to be going into a few not oscilloscope views, but we're going to be looking at the frequency spectrum. So let me show you what I got set up over here. On the left, you can see that we have sort of an oscilloscope view. This is a module called the Jones O-Tool, and it's actually two of them side by side, and I arranged it in the frequency spectrum setting so that I can see a good wide band of frequencies here. Over on the left, you can see right there that the lower band is at 625, and it goes up to about 2500, and then over here 2500 continues all the way up to, let's see, that's 10K. So there you go. That's what we're going to be using to kind of see how the filter will be behaving as it's filtering our VCO over here. So without further ado, let's kind of get this patch started. I'm going to break this sort of audio demo and demonstration of the filter with oscilloscope views or with scope views into about two segments. So we're going to do one with the low pass, high pass, and notch, and then we're going to do one with the band pass. So let's go ahead and go down to our sequencer, because that's where we're going to get some notes to be sort of triggering our VCO with. If you look down here, let me get this cable out of the way. If you look down here, you can see this is my sequencer down here. We're going to be taking some notes from this little area right here, and I'm going to be taking those up to the top section. So let me just patch that in. There we go. So those are our notes. And I'm going to go into a quantizer right over here. Can't really see it that well. If this is new to you and you're not really sure what I'm doing, just bear with me, and you should hear in a little bit what is actually going on. If you have further questions about it, rather than post to this video, just check out my videos on the A106 quantizer, Doepfer, and the A105 trigger sequencer. So they should answer a lot of your questions that you might have. So let me take so I'm going CV in to here, CV out. It's going to go up to our VCO. There we go. And then now I just need to get that little patch part, taking the audio from our VCO into our filter. So taking out into the filter. And then I'm going to be taking this output right here, and I'm going down into a multiple so we can actually see it over in the Jones O-Tool. But first, I need to actually patch that. So bear with me. Taking an output from my multiples. This is happening off camera, so you shouldn't be seeing anything. And now you should be seeing the first half of my scope. And then I'm going to take another output from my multiples. And then going into the second sort of band of frequencies. So right there you can see quite a wide range of frequencies there. And if I go back to my filter and I move this, I'm going to move it, let's see, counterclockwise. So look at the scope view. There you go. So you see how it's kind of quieting, and there's very little murmurs in the lower end of the frequency. And then as I bring it up, you can kind of see the frequencies appearing at the lower edge. And there's a little bit of overlap there, like for example, on the left edge where it has like up to 625 on the left scope. Over on the right, there's a little section that represents that kind of frequency range, as you can see right there. So just so you're aware of that as we're kind of moving forward, but hopefully you'll get the idea as we're moving from left to right. We're moving left to right on our scope over there as well. So it's kind of letting in more frequencies. Okay, so let's actually start. I already have it set to low pass mode. So right now we're in low pass mode. let's see, we have resonance all the way up, so let me bring that down just a little bit so we can kind of hear it without resonance. And then now let's play with the frequency. So I'm bringing it all the way down. Filters closed, like we saw before. I'm going to bring it up ever so slightly. You can kind of see some of the low frequencies are starting to come in. Right about there. We have pretty much only low frequencies coming in. And if we bring it up a little more, you can see that now a little more frequencies in the 5K, 7K, 10K range are coming in, and now as we go all the way clockwise over here on the filter cutoff, you can see all the frequencies are coming in, well, almost all of them. And then if I move it in the opposite direction, you see the same thing, sort of less frequencies all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Now let's go to resonance and kind of see how this is affecting our sound. So I'm turning it all the way up. Now I'm going to move the frequency cutoff. And you can actually see that. If you try, it's a little bit difficult on this left one with the, let's see, the 10K at the bottom. If I switch over to a higher magnification right here, you may be able to see this. So I just switched this right one over to a higher magnification. Now I'm going to move my cutoff over here up a little bit. You should see like kind of a little sort of movement. You can kind of see that little dip where it's moving. It's actually the peak where our resonance is actually occurring. And it only goes by for a very small segment right there. So like right there, to my eye, it's right around 5K, right around there. And right there you can kind of see now it's going lower and lower. Okay, so there you go. Now let's hear a little bit of the notch filter.